Hi, my name is Thomas Upton, and this is Upton Speaks. In this podcast, I speak on a variety of topics: public media, film, commercial television, radio, politics, and more. I will occasionally feature special guests to cover some of these topics. Today's special guest is a person who is involved with an organization called LUCE, an immigration justice network in Massachusetts. And she's here with us right now, Cindy Nicholls. Cindy, welcome to Upton Speaks.
Thank you so much, Thomas. And thank you for having me today.
You're welcome. And this focuses on immigration, which currently in recent times, some U.S. immigrants had been deported by the U.S. president and his team, and the president has been employing this organization called ICE. Do you know what the acronym ICE means?
Yes, it stands for Immigration Customs Enforcement.
Yeah, Immigration Customs Enforcement.
Yes.
Tell us about your role at LUCE.
Well, I had a very limited role in LUCE, and I can talk to you about what they do in general, but my involvement started in the winter with the Red Hat Project. And Minneapolis, when they were having their ICE raids, there are lots of Norwegians who live there, and they decided to start a Red Hat Project, which was used in World War II to identify their objection to Nazis. And so they knit these specific designed red hats, which I brought a couple with me so I can show the audience. And it was to be able to demonstrate without speaking their objections to what the Nazis were doing in World War II. So Minneapolis, having known this history, because there are lots of Norwegians who live there, they decided to start that in Minneapolis to demonstrate their objection to this mass deportation that was happening. And they also thought it would be a good idea to use it to raise money to help immigrants who were being negatively affected by this mass deportation. So that's the history. And there's a woman who lives in Rockport who is Norwegian and used to live in Minneapolis and lived very near where Alex Preddy was killed. And so she was seeing this on Facebook, on her Facebook feed, and she decided that it would be great to bring this project to Cape Ann. So it was a very grassroots project. So she talked with people at LUCE, with people at ECHO, and with people at Cape Ann Indivisible and said, let's do it here, and we can raise money for our immigrant community who are being affected by deportations that are happening in our own state. So it was very just community, grassroots effort, and she just reached out to people who knit, and we all got together and started knitting these hats, which was a very specific pattern. And it was so great because we were helping people. People couldn't wait to get a hat so that they could wear it and identify that they too were against this deportation stuff that's been going on. And they would give donations to help the immigrants that were being affected. So it was quite fun. We got together, we knit on Saturday mornings at a coffee shop and got to know each other. And at the same time, we're really helping folks. So that's how it all started.
Who was Alex Preddy?
He was one of the American citizens that was murdered in Minneapolis when he was protesting the deportations. And he was a nurse at a VA hospital.
Now, the name of the organization, LUCE,
yes.
What does that acronym mean?
Well, I'm going to refer to my notes because, as I said, I have not total involvement with them, so I don't want to get anything wrong. But the word stands for light in many different languages. So they basically have a collective vision for people's immigration justice, and they are all around the state of Massachusetts. And they know that this is very important, and they work, like I said, with ECHO and with other organizations that care about justice. And they have watches where they will be around different towns, and if they see ICE, they'll let people know. They will videotape any arrests that they might see ICE doing in their community. They also have a hotline so that if you see anything, you can call the hotline and someone will get back to you. So that's the kind of thing they do.
What are you hoping to achieve at all of those justice organizations here in Massachusetts?
Well, my main goal is to try to preserve our democracy and to speak up for our democracy. And there are many organizations that do that, and we have been organizing protests, standouts, working with all people in our community to do this active protesting, and we've been involved with the No Kings standouts when those happen. And there's one of those is going to be happening on June 14th, I believe, which coincides with Flag Day.
Yeah, and the president would be 80 years old at that point.
That's correct. So it coincides with that as well. So it's kind of an anti get-together from his fight on the White House lawn. That he's celebrating his birthday that day.
Yeah, and this deportation company, I think they are among the organizations that, I think they say those 5 words that we don't want to hear: "We will hunt you down."
Yes.
For the immigrants, which not a good. What do you think? Would it be amazing if this deportation thing, ICE, were to shut down?
Well, it clearly at least needs to be reformed, if not shut down and start over from scratch. And, you know, our immigrant community, they're our neighbors, they're our friends, they work in our stores, they work as contractors, and they should not be frightened every day of their lives now that they're going to be deported, because most of them have done nothing wrong. They have legal status, and it's really, you know, the line from the administration was that we're going to get rid of the worst of the worst, and that's really not who they're going after, and that's what we object to.
Okay, well, even though that they didn't do things wrong, I think the president didn't want anything foreign in this country anymore. I know he has been doing those tariff things, which I always would call the tariffs of doom. It's so as to raise the prices of things that originate from foreign countries. So it's not just immigration; it's other foreign things. This again this makes me wonder if the president only wanted American things in America, not foreign things in America. Mm-hmm. That's all.
Yeah, I don't really understand all of his reasoning behind the tariffs. He said it was going to protect our products and our manufacturing, but that really isn't how it turns out, because the things that we manufacture here, a lot of the raw materials come from other countries, so we're such a global economy that things aren't made just in America or just in France or just in Canada. We bring all these raw materials from various countries and manufacture them in other countries or our country. So it's not cut and dry like that. So he really hurts a lot of our efforts to manufacture things by doing that. I don't think he fully understands that. That's just my opinion.
Now, I think the president also requested that the penny 1 cent coin be discontinued here in America, right?
I think that's true, yes.
Yeah, and with that, the 4 coins are now incomplete. Yet if the penny were to be revived, then the 4 coins would be complete again, with the other 3 coins being nickel, dime, and quarter.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have an opinion on that one way or another about if we need the penny or not. For me, based on everything else that's going on right now, that's kind of low on my list of things that I worry about, if that makes any sense.
Okay, now, for those who don't know, like ECHO, Indivisible, and all those other organizations you mentioned,
Yes.
who are they?
Well, that's a good question. They're just people who are your neighbors and friends who all are concerned about our democracy. And some people who were involved were political activists for their entire lives, or they were politically active when they were college students. Some were never politically active before, but all the folks are very, very concerned about the survival of our democracy and have come together in community so that they're not feeling alone in this and trying to do what we can in order to make sure that our democracy survives. So there are some young people, many people are retired, senior citizens, and I think that's partly because we folks who are retired have more time to devote to these things because young people are working very hard just to make ends meet, so they don't have a lot of free time. And the other thing that people have noted is that senior citizens know from experience when we've protested other things that it matters and it changes history. And younger people haven't really seen that their objections and protests work to bring positive change. So there is some theory, too, that that's why young people are less involved than older folks. But that's certainly something for all of us to think about and how to get more young people to care enough and have enough time to make a difference with us.
I was so worried that I thought that democracy would be destroyed within like a few years because of what is currently happening. I know there were lots and lots of executive orders signed to shut lots of important things down, which is not good at all. Like, I think the president and his team wanted to get rid of some health-related things like Medicaid and all that stuff. Is this accurate?
Well, there has been a push to limit Medicaid, Medicare for quite a long time. Some people in the government feel that those programs are too costly, and they think that to privatize those things would be economical. Other people think that that would probably destroy them. So, I have my own political beliefs about that. I don't know how opinionated you want your guests to be today on those kinds of things.
All right. Any final thoughts?
Well, I guess my final thought is that we can get back on track, our country. We can make a difference by getting out there and educating people, standing out to let people know that we do care, that we're not alone in this. We are in this together, and we can make it happen. So those would be my final thoughts. And there are indivisible groups on Cape Ann, in Beverly. I think you've interviewed the folks from Hands Off Beverly.
Yeah, it was Matt Faletra.
Yes, so there are places to get involved, or LUCE, or ECHO. So if you want to get involved, there are plenty of places to do that. And I encourage everyone who cares about this issue to get involved.
And I can tell by the name LUCE, it has like a Latin E at the end, right?
Yes.
All right, that's cool.
Yes.
Thanks for watching and or listening to Upton Speaks. This has been Thomas Upton speaking. This podcast was recorded at BevCam in Beverly, Massachusetts, United States. Find us on all your favorite podcast platforms and BevCam's YouTube and public access cable TV channels. Thanks to our guest, Cindy Nicholls.
Thank you.
You're welcome.